Hello fellow YouTubers, J-Bo here once again with another video, which is going to be a lot of fun, I think. I don't think it'll be too long, it doesn't need to be. And what do I have here? Well, this is a Smith & Wesson M&P M7 bayonet, complete with the military hook. So you can hook that on your combat belt, your army belt, and whatever you call that thing. You know what I'm talking about. It's got those holes in it that you can hook things in, and that's what hooks in it. You can also hook a 1911 A1 in it, firearm, holster. And anyway, this was about 30 bucks. I got this from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. They have these bayonets at a good price. Usually when you see one of these, they're anywhere from $60 to $150 for a genuine Ontario bayonet. But this is the M7 style. It's got a strap and a nice sheath or scabbard. I call them a scabbard because it's polymer and it's more like a scabbard than it is a sheath. I don't know, whatever English word you want to use. And what's really nice about this is it holds it very well, and it comes nice and sharpened on both sides and up to here like the military ones. It says M&P on the blade, and it's got the proper hooking thing. It's got the spring-loaded lug clasp thingamajigger, whatever that's called. And well, why did I get this, you're wondering? Well, I got this because I had just gotten the Tokarev TX3 12 HD shotgun, and I had to do some things to my Mossberg, my Maverick 88 shotgun. So I'm going to talk about that briefly, but I cannot show you what I did physically, showing you how to do it because YouTube forbids customizing firearms. But I can tell you what I did and show you the end result. And first, however, we're going to cover the TX3 Tokarev shotgun. I had said I was going to talk about it after I installed the Bayonet Lug on here, offered by SDS Imports on their website. And it's this piece right here that you get, as well as this end cap right here, which I'll talk about that in a second, because there's one little Allen set screw here to hold that whole thing on. And if you've fired a shotgun before, well, that doesn't seem very sufficient to me, and I don't know why they did that, but I do have a solution for that, which I will talk about. So anyway, you have to get the 1-inch extension tube, which screws on here, and you see this hole right here. There is a plug inside every shotgun when you take the cap off to get the magazine tube spring, and you have to release that somehow. Well, this one has plastic tabs on each side, so you pinch them in and you can take the plastic plug out, and you don't have to alter the shotgun like you have to do with Remington 870s, where you have to take a file on the inside and file like these raised metal lips that catch the plug that you push in and turn and then release. So the slot on here on the inside, the raised spot, goes inside a slot on the plug and it locks it in there. So once you take those out, on the Remington 870, once you file those down, it's filed down for good, so you have to replace the magazine tube if you want to put it stock again. This, you don't have to. You just pinch those two sides and that plastic plug comes out, and then your spring extends longer. Then you screw the extension on here, which turns this into a 6+1 shotgun instead of a 5+1. Or a 4+1 3-inch slug and 5+1 3-inch slug. if that makes any sense. So 2 3/4, you can get 6 + 1, and 3" you get 5 + 1. Okay, you follow? All right, so anyway, I did not have to do any modifications to this shotgun. This is the parts that were sold by SDS Import, but you do need the tube extension, and you need the bayonet lug and the end cap, which come as one unit, as one purchase, 25 bucks. The magazine tube extension is 25 bucks, and they ship very quickly. I got this, got it all together, but as stated, I did not like that right there. And actually that felt like it was starting to strip when I was putting it in, the Allen wrench. Now, I'm a big, strong guy, but I am used to doing stuff like this, and I do not strip screws and things like that. I just don't. I have many, many years of practice working on a great many things. I'm just trying to tell you, to get this to the point where it feels sufficiently tight enough, you have to put it really tight, and it just doesn't want to do it. I don't trust it. So what I opted to do was I took some Loctite, like you would use on a bolt, and I'm thinking, if I use that on that set screw, I'll probably strip it trying to take it off, because it really did feel like it was starting to strip, like the metal is soft. It's on the screw. This is built well. It's solid. It's not an aluminum alloy. It's actually metal. But that set screw right there is, I didn't like it. I think it's cheap, and I think SDS Imports should have done better than that on that. But again, it was only 25 bucks, and you cannot get bayonet lugs for 25 bucks. You can't. So that being said, I put some Loctite on the inside of this, so it would help it bond to this, rather than putting Loctite on the screw, Allen screw. So it's nice and solid. I haven't shot it yet. Now, I'm assuming you shoot a 3" slug. The concussion on here is going to tell you if that's going to work or not. I just feel like that's not going to stay on the end there with just that set screw for very many shots. I think this is more for looks and things like that. I don't think you'd be able to actually use this in combat with a bayonet on it. But it goes on easy once you adjust the height that you want. The length, I mean, you just slip this on here like that. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to have to swip this around. You know how that goes. So you put that on there like that. And you pinch that spring-loaded. Trying to do this so it stays on the camera, and it ain't working out so well. So anyway, I'm going to stand up and do it. Sorry. And so anyway, you put this on here. It goes on easy, trust me. It's just one of those things where I'm trying to film. And you have the strap loop, which is removable, by the way. I just left it on here because I use my sling. And so anyway, that's the setup. It's on here tight on its own, and it's pretty nice. So the reason why that I got this was my brother and I have shotguns, and we're putting bayonets on them because we want to stab cabbages with them and stick a cabbage on the end and then fire the shotgun into the cabbage, and it explodes like confetti. There's a couple of videos on YouTube which are really cool. And I was like, you know what? I want to try that. So anyway, it does come off easy. And like I said, I am right-handed. And so while you can't see me take it off, I'm sorry about that. But if I tried to do it and film it, you'd be watching me wrestle with it for 2 minutes, and that's annoying. So anyway, that's this shotgun, which, by the way, is a really nice shotgun. I got a nice piece of wood on mine, and these are very, very nice. 200 bucks. I mean, you can't beat that. You try to buy a nice wood stock like that with a nice foregrip, and you know, what's that going to cost you? Probably what this was paid for this shotgun, $200 for a nice piece of wood. and it comes with it. So it's a very nice quality shotgun, highly recommended. Now I'll go get my Maverick 88. Everybody's familiar with the Maverick 88, I think. So just to refresh your memory, I have the FDE one, Flat Dark Earth, and I have the one that doesn't say Maverick on it, or Mossberg. And make sure it's clear, which it is. And so anyway, really nice shotguns for the money as well. And what did I do? Well, I got one of those cheap Bayonet Lugs on eBay. It's like 20 bucks, free shipping, and they're made in China. And the screws that come with it are atrociously soft, and I actually broke one of the screws inside here. One of the hex ones. It actually broke off tightening it, and I didn't really over tighten it. I mean, I'm not a gorilla, okay? It just broke. So I was like, well, I'm gonna go to Lowe's, which I did, and I bought some bolts, I bought some locking nuts, and I bought some washers, and I drilled holes in here. The threaded holes that were in the pieces, that's how I modified it. So, I think it's self-explanatory, and it works. It works very well. So now I have two shotguns that I can put a, there we go. See, finally worked. So you can stick a bayonet on there easy. Comes off easy. It's self-locking because of the way it's designed. And these are really neat. You just pinch them. See that? And it grabs that notch, that little piece of metal here. And you cannot take it off. You can't push it forward, backwards, sideways. It sits nice and locked tight. So I had this measured out, and this band right here did not fit this magazine tube. So these are sold to fit Maverick 88 on YouTube, and on eBay, and they don't fit. No matter how tight you put it, it still slides up and down the tube. It doesn't close enough, which is why I broke that bolt. I was trying to get it tight enough. So the tolerances are off, which is kind of a joke, really. So how did I fix that? Well, what I did was I slid this down out of the way, and I put 2 strips of electrical tape, and it was enough to take up that difference. Then I put it back up. It didn't want to go on there, so I took a rubber mallet, knocked that up onto the tape. Got my final measurement adjustment, which you got to get by actually just installing it, and that's self-explanatory. And then I tightened everything down. And this is what I used, if you're wondering. These were at Lowe's, so you can have some screenshots here if you want to know which ones I used. It's the 5mm washers, flat washers, metric. And the nuts are just self-locking nuts. And these are the M4, that's the number you need, M4. And it's a 0.70 inch. And it's metric, so the M4. So that's what you need for that. And that's just the amount that's in the package. That varies. So if you want to go find these yourself and do this project yourself, these together came out to about $6.28 for all 3. Not a big deal. And this is the metric pan Phillips machine, M4 by 35. I got ones that were long enough to go all the way through and not have to cut it with a Dremel. It's the perfect height perfect length I can deal with. That's acceptable to me. They had some that were shorter, some that were longer, so you might have to trial and error it. And that's why I'm showing this right here. So these are the ones you need that fit perfectly for this. And the drill bit I used, what was it? It was this one, 5/32. So that was the 5/32 one I used, which was just the right size. Now these bolts, by the way, on this piece that you buy on eBay for this are threaded the same as these. But if you thread this through and then you try to tighten it, it doesn't close them together. It fights against the threads and it just won't close to clamp on there anyway. So I opted to just drill the hole bigger, slightly bigger than the screw. And then the screw didn't screw in, it just went through like a bolt. So it negates the threads, but obviously you need the threads for the locking nut. And so basically what I would do is put a washer on this end and just a locking nut on this end, which you didn't need a washer on because it is a locking nut. But anyway, I just wanted to show you what size you needed for a drill bit. 5/32 right there. Pretty common. And any drill will go through that. It goes through like butter. That's an aluminum alloy. It's a cheap metal. And it really didn't take any effort to go through there at all. So I did the same thing on the end cap as well, because that had the same problem as the SD one, and this one actually did start to strip the hex head screw that was in here, which went all the way through, which is what it should do. But this goes on very snugly on its own before you put it on, so it's really easy to install. It just goes over the cap that's on the end of the magazine tube that comes with your Maverick 88. And it was real easy to do, like I said. And voila. You have a bayonet on a Mossberg, or if you're from Maine, you call it a Mossberg, because Maine's got moose all over it. And we get some slugs and buckshot in here, which is good for home defense. So don't come a knocking. Actually, if you do come, make sure you do knock. Let's put it that way. But anyway, there you have it. You know, I hope this video helps somebody who's thinking about doing this. And, you know, I think little projects like this are quite fun, actually. So there you have it. Enjoy. And I hope you enjoyed these shotguns too, and whatever you gained from this or gleaned from it. Hopefully I didn't violate any YouTube ordinances and the YouTube police will come beat me on my skull for showing anything too terrible. It's getting to the point now where people really don't know what they can film and what they can't. So, well, that's on YouTube. That's their fault. My opinion is eventually all gun videos are going to be banned on YouTube by default, because that's just what they're going to do. So anyway, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. This is J-Bo signing out, and click like and subscribe if you like the video. And like I said, this channel is not monetized, so it's just to make me happy. How's that? Bye-bye. Thank you.